My roommate and I got into a fight. I racked my brain but couldn't figure out why, and when I asked, he wouldn't say a word. In desperation, I turned to the internet for answers. I described our usual dynamic and his recent cold texts in detail. The top voted response from a netizen was, "Just give him a kiss and everything will be fine." Thud, the sound of a door slamming shut made my eyes snap open. Sitting up and looking at the empty dorm room, I ruffled my hair in frustration. This was the third day Song Yu and I had been in a Cold War. To be precise, Song Yu was mad at me, but I had no idea what I'd done wrong. The only turning point I knew was the group dinner 3 days ago. I'd had a bit to drink, and my last memory was Song Yu's cool hand pressing against my face. The sensation was so soothing that I just kept nuzzling into it. After that, my mind was a total blank. When I woke up the next morning, I was met with Song Yu's deep, dark eyes. "Xiao Che, do you remember anything from last night after you got drunk?" My head was pounding, and I frowned with a groan. Song Yu handed me a glass of honey water, his voice very soft. "Who is Brother Bing?" I was gulping down the honey water and nearly choked to death. I coughed until my lungs ached, and physiological tears flooded my eyes. Song Yu hurried over to pat my back, his fingers brushing past the corners of my eyes to wipe away the moisture. I was too guilty to look him in the eye. "Huh? Brother Bing, what happened? Greater than you are watching this story on the Pride in Fiction channel. If you enjoy these sweet moments, don't forget to like and subscribe. Brother Bing, or Ice Cube Brother, was actually a nickname I secretly gave Song Yu. He always wore a cool, distant expression. Wasn't he just a living block of ice? Usually, I only mumbled it to myself. Who would have thought I'd blurt it out while drunk? What did I say? Song Yu didn't answer, only looking down at me. His face was cold, but his eyes seemed to carry a hint of hurt. I sucked in a breath of cold air. I was doomed. Did I insult him or do something terrible while wasted? I reached out and tugged at his sleeve. "Song Yu, what happened last night?" I didn't say anything bad, did I? Song Yu let out a soft sigh and, from then on, stayed absolutely silent about the night's events. I thought the matter was settled, but I soon realized how wrong I was. Not only was it not settled, it was a big deal. Song Yu was genuinely angry. I sat dazed on the edge of my bed, wanting to cry but having no tears. For the past 3 days, I had tried desperately even in my dreams to remember what happened that night to make someone as good-tempered as Song Yu give me the cold shoulder. For example, in the mornings, Song Yu always woke up early, but he never used to leave so silently. Normally, when passing my bed, he'd ruffle my hair until I swatted his hand away, and he'd laughingly scold, "Xiao Che, you have class. Remember to get up when the alarm goes off." When I was drifting back to sleep, I'd always feel that warmth on my head again, knowing he was ruffling my hair one last time. It was a rare bit of playfulness from him. But now, 3 days, 3 whole days, silence in the morning, silence at noon, silence when he returned at night. You couldn't exactly call it a cold war because he'd still respond if I spoke, even if only with one word. But he was no longer proactive. I let out a howl and flopped back onto the bed. I must have bad-mouthed him. What did I say? Complained about his perfectionism? Called him boring? Maybe the alcohol fried my brain and I went into a rebellious phase telling him to stop controlling me? The ringing of my phone interrupted my misery. It was the captain of the basketball team. I answered weakly. "Captain, what are you doing? Why aren't you here yet? It's not even 8 o'clock. What basketball? Don't you have class?" The captain yelled back, "Special training. You should have been here half an hour ago." Damn it. I bolted upright. My first thought was, Song Yu really is mad. Otherwise he would have woken me up to go together like always. When I rushed to the gym, Song Yu was already there. His pale skin glistened with sweat under the lights. It seemed he hadn't been late and had already warmed up. Suddenly, I felt a bit aggrieved. Why be so silent and moody? If you don't tell me what's wrong, how am I supposed to know? I stood to the side staring at him with a resentful gaze until the captain slapped me hard on the back, nearly sending me face first into the floor. "Late, you're late." I dodged his second slap. My bad. My bad. Stop hitting me, or I won't have the strength to play. He rolled his eyes and leaned in. Hey, did you guys have a fight? He gestured toward Song Yu in the distance. You and UGE? I looked over. Song Yu had just executed a smooth step-back three-pointer. His movements were natural and relaxed, and combined with that handsome face and perfect proportions, watching him play was pure visual enjoyment. The ball fell back into his hands, and he dribbled twice before suddenly looking over. Those ink-dark eyes met mine. I felt a sudden surge of tension and awkwardness. He paused for a second, then walked toward us. I breathed a sigh of relief. Thankfully, he was still acknowledging me. When he was a few steps away, he tossed the ball into my arms. Come on. Just 2 words, but they made the corners of my mouth curl up high. Coming. The captain beside me raised an eyebrow. Hey buddy, do you know what you look like right now? Before I could ask, he chuckled. A total simp. He says 2 words and you're grinning like a fool. I didn't bother arguing with him. What did he know? This was a major breakthrough in my relationship with Song Yu over the last 3 days. But I realized I had celebrated too early. During the game, except for eye contact when passing the ball, Song Yu lacked his usual intimacy. The high fives after scoring were gone, replaced by a slight nod, like a boss approving my work performance. During a break, I was in such a rush I forgot my water and habitually reached for the bottle in his hand. Unexpectedly, he didn't let go. I panted and turned to look at him. He met my eyes for a second, then looked away. This is my water. With that, he handed me an unopened bottle of mineral water. I was stunned. Did I not know that? For 2 years, we had shared the same bottle countless times. Sometimes he even mischievously forced me to drink his. Now he was drawing a line between yours and mine. I didn't say anything, nor did I take the bottle he offered. I just stared at him. Everyone around us went quiet. Another teammate laughed to break the tension. UGE is probably just afraid you won't have enough. Here, I'll open this one for you. I withdrew my gaze and gulped the water down, swallowing the discomfort and grievance along with it. I felt Song Yu watching me the whole time, but when I looked up, he had already averted his gaze. That made me feel even worse. I took all my frustration out on the ball. When the session ended, a teammate bumped my shoulder. Playing aggressive today. I gave him a faint smile. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Song Yu standing nearby wiping sweat. As he was about to lift his shirt to wipe his face, his hand hesitated and then dropped. I walked straight up to Song Yu, intending to rub my head against him as usual, but he took a step back, dodging me. I took a deep breath, unable to hold it in anymore. What are you dodging for? Usually, when I sweat after a game, I don't bother getting a towel like Song Yu. I just lift my jersey and wipe my face messily. But Song Yu would always frown and grab my hand, telling me not to lift my shirt so carelessly. When I asked why, he'd just have a hint of a smile. You wouldn't understand. Then I'd laugh and rub my head against his shirt. Fine. I'll just wipe it on you. It's faster and I don't have to wash the shirt. Song Yu would laugh and not stop me. Over time, it became a habit. But now, Song Yu's rejection was so obvious that I couldn't pretend nothing was wrong. I looked into his eyes. The morning sun felt so piercing, making my eyes ache. I asked again. I'm asking you, what are you dodging? Song Yu pursed his lips and looked at me for 3 seconds. I only saw him roll his eyes and let out a soft sigh before his hand covered my eyes. The moment I lost my sight, my other senses became hypersensitive. I could even hear the sound of Song Yu moving closer to me. A puff of warm air brushed my ear. I was wrong. My bottled-up emotions nearly burst at those 3 words. I took 2 sharp breaths. He lowered his hand and wrapped it around my shoulder. I immediately opened my eyes and saw his own were full of regret. I'm sorry. I realized I must be crazy, seeing the weakness in his eyes. The anger in my heart deflated like a punctured balloon. But this couldn't just end like this. I'd had enough over these 3 days. We had to talk clearly today. I roughly pulled his jersey to wipe the sweat off my forehead. Come on. Let's talk. After 3 days, his brow finally relaxed into a slight smile. Seeing that smile, I finally felt at ease. Then I was startled by my own thought. Crap, am I really becoming his simp? Greater than this captivating story is shared by *Pride in Fiction. Please support the channel by liking and sharing to see more exciting content. I suppressed that weird thought and pulled Song Yu's arm toward a shaded spot. A whistle blew from behind. We turned around. The captain was holding a ball, smirking. "Oh, are you two filming an idol drama?" Song Yu didn't say anything, and the captain's smile vanished into a glare. "What are you doing?" "We're still training." Seeing my impatient expression, he laughed and tried to kick me, but was stopped by a casual look from Song Yu. I smugly gave him the middle finger, grabbed the ball, and did a layup. "Keep going." We practiced until noon. The sun was getting brutal, and I felt my head start to spin. I shook my head and squinted at the ball. Damn, I missed 2 shots. Xiao Che, Xiao Che. Song Yu's voice pulled me back. I saw him frowning as he touched my forehead. Then he brushed my hair aside. His fingers slid into my hair and rested on the back of my neck, giving it a squeeze. "Xiao Che, where does it hurt? It's just training. No need to push yourself this hard." So I followed his lead and rested my forehead against his shoulder, dizzy. "Did you skip breakfast?" Before I could speak, he added, "It's my fault for not waking you up this morning." I hummed a, "You better know it," sound. He helped me up and gave a casual wave to the captain. The captain's loud voice didn't forget to add drama from behind. "How would you survive without Song Yu?" "Che? Oh, Che, psycho." Without waiting to shower or change, Song Yu took me straight to the nearest cafeteria. The moment I stuffed rice into my mouth, I couldn't help but sigh. I've come back to life. Seeing Song Yu across from me with a slight smile in his eyes, I took the opportunity. "Song Yu, I must have offended you when I was drunk. Just tell me, what happened?" He seemed to be thinking about how to put it. I prompted him. "Did I talk trash about you?" Song Yu smiled slightly. "No." Then he asked the question from 3 days ago. "Who is Brother Bing?" Looking at his serious expression, I decided that compared to fighting with him, I'd rather sell out my last bit of pride. Besides, that nickname was something I'd made up when we first met, just for me to mumble to myself. "Ice Cube brother. Forget it. It's not a big deal." I relaxed, wanting to laugh as I remembered why I gave him that name. "Brother Bing is you. Because of your cold face. I always feel like our dorm temperature is lower than others. And it's not just the AC." The words were on the tip of my tongue to tease him further when I heard Song Yu say, "You said you liked Brother Bing when you were drunk." For a moment, I didn't understand the sentence, so I instinctively blurted out, "Huh?" My confused gaze met Song Yu's quiet eyes. My brain slowly, clumsily processed the sentence. Brother Bing equals Song Yu. Liking Brother Bing equals liking Song Yu. I said I liked Song Yu when I was drunk. I thought to myself, the captain's description was wrong. This isn't being a simp. This is called liking someone. I didn't speak, and Song Yu didn't rush me. He seemed lost in his own thoughts. I felt like a student taking a math test with the answer key in hand. The results were there, but the process was missing. I was lost. I like Song Yu? How'd I like him? I finally snapped out of it and leaned toward him. How did I say it? What kind of, like? He's my brother. I probably meant, like, as a brother. Right? Are you misunderstanding something? Song Yu's gaze darkened as he looked at me, his lower lip twitching. There's no misunderstanding. But no matter how much I asked, you wouldn't tell me what your original words were. So, who is Brother Bing? Do I know him? He was circling back to the old topic. This time, I didn't dare tell the truth. I scratched my face, feeling it burn. I must be suffering from heat stroke. You don't know him. Song Yu pondered for a moment. I don't know him? Did you know him before university? Why couldn't I have met him at university? But the reality was that Song Yu knew everyone I met at university. So I went along with it. Right, yeah, an old friend. Song Yu tapped the table lightly. Have you liked him for a long time? My ears were burning, and I didn't know what to say. Song Yu seemed convinced I really had someone I liked. and my denials were useless. I mumbled. Just recently. Wasn't it recently? I only found out after hearing you say it. Song Yu stopped asking questions and sat opposite me, quietly looking down. For some reason, I felt he had never looked so vulnerable. Wait, why did he get angry because I said I liked Brother Bing? I asked him exactly what I was thinking. He stunned for a few seconds before replying. It wasn't because of that. I was angry because. Song Yu's fingers on the table curled up, his eyes falling on my face and finally resting on my lips. Because you hit me. He said it so decisively that I didn't even have time to doubt him. Huh? He raised his hand and pointed to the corner of his lip, right here. It even broke the skin. I immediately leaned over to look, and there really was a cut. I wanted to stick my hand in his mouth to check. Damn. Are you okay, Song Yu? He really didn't dodge, letting me handle his face. I'm fine. My fingertip accidentally brushed past his lip, and he instinctively licked it with the tip of his tongue. The moisture on my finger made me freeze instantly. Song Yu also went still. I snapped back to reality, curled my finger in, and hid the burning sensation in my palm as I sat back in my seat. We fell into a long, awkward silence. Song Yu suddenly spoke. I'm sorry. These past few days I cut him off. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. I didn't think I'd hit you while drunk. You should have hit me back. Song Yu's gaze was deep. It's okay. I didn't lose out. After eating, we went back to the dorm. I suppressed the horror of my drunken rambling and happily put my arm around his shoulder. Then we're made up. Right? He was a bit taller than me, so I had to look up slightly. He looked at me with a faint smile and also reached out to wrap his arm around my back, patting it like we were celebrating after a game, then habitually squeezed my waist. Okay. I suddenly felt like I was being completely enveloped by him. Remembering my drunken words, I hurriedly let go and stood straight with a nervous laugh. Song Yu probably didn't notice anything odd. His hand that was in the air rested on my hair and ruffled it as usual. Song Yu showered, changed, and went to the library. I stayed in the dorm alone, which gave me a good environment to think. I like Song Yu. I grabbed my hair with both hands. Damn, a rabbit doesn't eat the grass near its burrow. I fell for my roommate. My first reaction was to argue. Maybe I'm just starved for affection lately and wanted to be in a relationship. So I just talked nonsense. Having found a plausible excuse, I nodded to the void. Right. I was drunk. There's no logic in being drunk. It was all nonsense. On the surface, I seemed to have convinced myself. But the fact that I couldn't stop thinking about it over and over again exposed everything. I couldn't lie to myself at all. Song Yu and I seemed to have returned to our old state. But something felt different. Before I could figure out what was wrong, I noticed that Song Yu's things in the dorm were slowly disappearing. That night when Song Yu returned, he had been coming back very late recently. I blocked him. Song Yu. Don't tell me you're moving out. Song Yu paused, then nodded. Yes. I exploded instantly. Why? He smiled and ruffled my hair to calm me down, squeezing the back of my neck. The internship company is too far from school. He was a year ahead of me, so he really did have to start an internship this semester. But that didn't make me feel any better. Then why didn't you tell me? If I hadn't asked, were you just going to move out secretly? Of course not. I looked at him, my heart heavy. I had been so confused lately, but I couldn't tell Song Yu for fear of scaring him. But now, it seemed Song Yu was proactively distancing himself from me. I pulled at my hair, but Song Yu caught my wrist. Don't pull your hair. It hurts. His tone sounded the same as before. No different, but it made me feel incredibly aggrieved. Song Yu, are you still mad at me? Didn't we make up? I glared at him, knowing my eyes must be red because they felt incredibly sore. I didn't know why, but over these past few days of being lost about my feelings, I had become extremely sensitive to everything Song Yu did, and my current emotions said it all. No matter what, I couldn't accept Song Yu moving away. He looked even more distressed than I did, his finger gently wiping the corner of my eye, his voice soft. No, I'm not mad. Of course we've made up. It's just because the company is so far away. A man's sixth sense is sometimes remarkably sharp. I looked up at him. Where is the company? He gave an address. It was indeed very far. I nodded. Give me the notice from your department to look at. I felt the hands on my face pause. I looked straight into Song Yu's eyes. Just a second of silence was enough for an answer. I almost couldn't control my volume. Is lying to me fun? Song Yu, if you don't want to live with me anymore, just say so. I'll just change rooms. There's no need for you to go to all this trouble. With that, I turned and left. Greater than you are listening to these heart-to-heart secrets on * Pride in Fiction. Don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts on these two characters. Damn, you two are brothers acting like you're dating. The basketball captain sat with me at a barbecue stall, commenting after hearing my abridged version of the story. I didn't even bother to insult him. The phone beside me vibrated again. I didn't need to look to know it was Song Yu calling. The captain's big mouth never showed any mercy. How many times has he called tonight? You're really not picking up? Your phone is about to get a concussion. I put the phone on silent and buried my head in my arms. What should I do? The captain hurriedly swallowed a lamb skewer. Oh boy, I don't have experience with this kind of romance. I kicked his chair leg in frustration, nearly making the meat in his mouth fall out. He glared at me and poured me a glass of beer. Fine. If you don't know what to do, just drink. I'll probably never touch alcohol again in my life. Watching the captain drink glass after glass and eat skewer after skewer, I regretted calling this guy out. He was useless. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the phone light up. A missed call stopped because nobody answered. And the next second a message from Song Yu popped up. Song Yu. Xiao Che. Where are you? Can I come pick you up? Let's talk. Talk about what? Song Yu wouldn't tell the truth, and I didn't dare tell him I seemed to have fallen for him. Damn it, what a mess. I suddenly had an idea, picked up my phone, and posted a plea for help online. Many details were kept the same as I described our usual interaction and Song Yu's recent coldness. Not long after, someone replied, just give him a kiss and everything will be fine. I decided to ignore that unreliable answer and wait for other netizens. But as I watched the captain finish 3 bottles of beer, the likes on that reply had surpassed 100. The few other comments were all in support of the first floor. Kiss him. If the fight was with words, the makeup should be with mouths. Exactly. Just have another fight, and it'll be fine. Looks like a plea for help, but it's actually just showing off affection. Reported. It made me feel so tired. Looking at that top-voted reply, Song Yu's lips suddenly popped into my mind, and I remembered how he instinctively licked the corner of his mouth earlier. His eyes were always smiling at me, his tongue moving so fast and naturally. If I kissed him, would Song Yu be angry? Or would his warm palm stroke the back of my neck as usual, smilingly calling me Xiao Che? I snapped back to reality, realizing my imagination was going way too far. My face was burning, probably from the fumes of the alcohol on the table. Damn it, I looked back at that reply with a complex gaze. Damn it. I buried my red face in my arms on the table. Beside me, the captain was still talking to himself. Well, just drink. After drinking and fighting, maybe drinking again will make you friends again. It's like fighting at the head of the bed, making up at the end of the bed. Don't you think that makes sense? I lay there for a while, then suddenly sat up. My gaze swept over the phone. Clearly the screen was black, but that top-voted reply seemed etched onto the screen, still making me afraid to look directly at it. I grabbed the last bottle of beer from the captain, poured a full glass for myself, and downed it in one go. The sharp sting made me cough uncontrollably. I wiped away the tears from the sting and kicked the captain. Message Song Yu. Huh? I felt the heat on my face and squinted. Tell him I'm drunk and tell him to come pick me up. The captain looked at the glass in front of me and then at me. I glared at him awkwardly. He chuckled as he took out his phone. You better act the part later. I buried myself back into my arms. The captain sent the message and left, saying, I won't disturb your end of the bed reconciliation. Just don't miss tomorrow's training. I was so mad I wanted to kick him again. This place wasn't far from school. and I was afraid Song Yu would see me if he arrived right then. So I just grit my teeth and lay on the table. It was just one glass of beer. There was no way I was drunk, but my mind was a mess. Closing my eyes, I kept seeing Song Yu smiling as he approached. I couldn't imagine the softness of that place, but I successfully made my head throb and my face turn red. Xiao Che. Hearing Song Yu's voice, my whole body tensed, but I pretended to be drunk and didn't move. Song Yu's panting voice was right by my ear. He pulled me into his arms. Xiao Che, are you okay? I hummed a few times and pushed his head away. Who are you? Fearing I'd be found out, I decided to keep my head down to the end. However, his hands cupped my face. I had to squint at him, stuttering. Who are you? Let go. Song Yu's voice was incredibly gentle. Xiao Che, it's me, Song Yu. Let's go back, okay? Damn it, don't talk right into my ear. I desperately resisted the urge to rub my ear and buried my head straight into the crook of his neck. Remaining silent, I couldn't pretend anymore, so I just acted like an ostrich. Maybe I wasn't found out, because Song Yu's tone was still gentle. Be good. This time, my legs felt weak as if I really were drunk. He steadily supported me as we walked toward the school. Someone shouted behind us, "Hey, handsome, you haven't paid yet." I buried my face deeper into his shoulder, having already kicked the captain 1,000 times in my mind. On the way back, I didn't dare make any big moves, fearing I'd be exposed. Since I didn't drink often and usually blacked out, I really didn't know what I was like when drunk. While my thoughts were wandering, I heard Song Yu let out a soft laugh above my head, accompanied by light breathing. Today's drunk Xiao Che is quite strange. My fingers curled up. Damn it, right, the last time I was drunk I fought with him. I shouldn't be this quiet. Just as I was considering how to act out without actually hitting him, Song Yu spoke again. Quan Xiao Che. Song Yu's voice was as light as a feather brushing against my ear. Be good. I let out a hum as a response and struggled a bit to get out of his embrace. Trying to find my drunk persona, Song Yu's grip tightened, holding me steady. Something warm touched my forehead for a moment then left. His voice was right there. Don't misbehave. I let out a soft breath, feeling my heart racing, and struggled out of his hold. I acted as if I couldn't stand steadily, reaching out to grab his shoulders. I looked up and squinted at him, seeing myself reflected in those eyes. His gaze was so focused that I instinctively avoided direct eye contact, and my gaze fell on his lips. At this moment, my heartbeat was like a drum in my ears. I didn't even hear what he said. I only saw those lips opening and closing. My heart was beating strongly and urgently as if it were constantly prompting me. Perhaps driven by my heartbeat, or perhaps I just couldn't help myself. I closed my eyes and leaned in. In that moment, it felt as if all the sounds in the world stopped. It was clearly just a momentary touch, but time felt stretched out so I could feel the softness I had been thinking about all night. I seemed to be truly drunk, letting the tip of my tongue brush over. So sweet. The next second, the hand on my waist tightened, pulling me close. The impact made me gasp for breath, and I instinctively opened my eyes, falling into Song Yu's ink-dark gaze. He lowered his head slightly, the tip of his nose brushing mine, his hot breath hitting my face. His voice low and soft. Xiao Che, who am I? I looked down at his slightly moist lips, mumbling, Song Yu. Unlike my light touch earlier, Song Yu seemed like he wanted to swallow me whole. The hand on my waist was so strong it felt like he wanted to embed me into him. His other hand stroked the back of my neck, forcing me to look up and receive him. This road was usually deserted and very quiet. At this moment, even the dim yellow streetlights seemed to have caught some secret, flickering twice before going out, leaving us in darkness. Both Song Yu and I paused. He pulled back slightly, and I could finally take a deep breath. I was kissed until I was dizzy. Hearing Song Yu let out a light laugh, feeling warmth on my forehead again and again, Song Yu called out softly, his voice full of laughter and dissatisfaction. Xiao Che. Quan Xiao Che. The kissing made me tremble slightly, and I didn't know how to face him, so I just buried my face in his shoulder. He laughed and nearly carried me back, his every step steady and smooth. Even though I was incredibly nervous, I actually fell asleep just like that. When he tucked me into bed, I woke up for a moment and heard him whisper in my ear, "Xiao Che. Don't forget again tomorrow." I wanted to say something, but my hazy consciousness wouldn't allow it. I only instinctively opened my mouth and fell into a deep sleep. When I woke up the next morning, the sky wasn't fully light yet. I squirmed twice intending to go back to sleep, then suddenly remembered everything from last night. In an instant, I was wide awake. I held my breath. In the quiet dorm, I could hear Song Yu's long, even breaths. The confusion and tension in my heart slowly calmed down with his breathing. But my face started to burn. At this moment, his light breathing began to gradually overlap with the heavy breathing I'd heard by my ear last night. I couldn't help but touch my lips, as if I could still feel the softness of last night. Damn it, what am I thinking about so early in the morning? I waited until I was about to suffocate before slowly crawling out. My brain was completely occupied by Song Yu's face. I couldn't think of anything else. He didn't push me away last night, so does that mean we're made up? I shook my head. It couldn't be described simply as making up anymore. Are we together now? I was startled by my own bold thought, then realized, does he like me? If he didn't, it shouldn't have been like that last night. The more I thought, the redder my face got. I silently wrapped myself in the blanket, but my attempt to stay calm failed. A thump from behind as I tumbled out of bed and rushed to the bathroom. Maybe the movement was too loud. "Xiao Che." Song Yu's voice was a bit hoarse as he peeked out to look at me. It scared me into rushing into the bathroom in 3 steps, turning on the faucet to use the sound of water as a cover. I breathed a sigh of relief. Damn, that scared me awake. Oh, isn't there training today? I'm just getting up early to wash up. Hearing Song Yu get out of bed and come over, I hurriedly spoke. Song Yu's voice was already outside the door, but it's only 6 o'clock. "Xiao Che." I splashed water on my face. Song Yu's voice got louder. "Since you're not sleepy, let's go for a morning run and have breakfast." I looked at my bright red face in the mirror and hurriedly said, "Okay." Waiting for the sound of his footsteps to recede, I breathed a sigh of relief. I happened to look down. Damn it, Quan Xiao Che, can you have some self-respect? He just laughed and you already. I used cold water to wash my face for a long time. I casually wiped the water off my neck and froze for 3 seconds looking at the red mark. Then that red mark spread across my whole face. Damn it, when did that happen? Last night was just a kiss. I fell asleep, but Song Yu didn't. My face was red beyond recognition, and Song Yu was still urging at the door, "Xiao Che." I took a deep breath and swung the door open, meeting Song Yu's downward gaze. I saw his eyebrows arch. "Why is your face so red?" I pointed to my neck and glared, trying to look imposing. "Song Yu, what's the deal with this? Kissing is kissing. Why bite my neck? What if someone sees at training today?" Song Yu looked at where I was pointing and then at me, his eyes darting back and forth several times, but he said absolutely nothing. The smile on his lips had faded before I knew it. "You don't remember?" "Of course I don't remember. I only had 1 glass last night. I wasn't drunk. We clearly only interacted from the chin up." My face was still burning as I spoke. "I did it. I'm sorry." This time Song Yu admitted it very quickly. I was red-faced and hadn't even had time to tell him to be careful next time when I heard him say, "Xiao Che, can you please stop liking Brother Bing?" It was like a bucket of cold water was poured over me. I looked at him with confusion. "Why? What do you mean? We've already kissed and bitten, and now you're telling me not to like him?" Song Yu's brow darkened, looking even colder. "Just based on the fact that the person you kissed last night was me, and the name you called was mine." I was dazed. "So, is there a problem? Shouldn't I have called your name?" Song Yu looked at me, his eyes widening slightly as if in disbelief. After several seconds of silence under my urging gaze, he finally struggled to say, "I'm sorry, but I can't do it." Before my brain could even process his words, he turned around to put on his shoes, acting like he was about to leave. Damn it, reacting. I laughed out of sheer anger, walked over and pulled him back, punching him once in the face. "We've kissed and you're saying you can't do it? Were you drunk too last night? Damn it." Song Yu was knocked back 2 steps, turning back with a dazed look. I was panting, trying to hold back my anger, but my eyes were getting redder. I couldn't hold it back anymore. But looking at that face, I couldn't bring myself to hit him again. I pushed him hard. If you don't like it, then push me away. Last night you were holding me and kissing me harder than I was. Damn it. Tears blurred my vision, and I wiped them away harshly, feeling like a clown from last night until now. The next second, my face was cupped, my face was lifted, and I saw the light in Song Yu's eyes. His voice lowered, half coaxing and half pleading. Xiao Che. Xiao Che, what do you mean? You like me? The person you like is me? I was truly angry enough to laugh. I swatted his hand away and yelled, if not, then who? If not, would I be like a fool leaning in? He laughed and pulled me back into a tight embrace. I actually couldn't break free. What are you laughing at? Song Yu didn't stop. His smile became even more radiant. Hot breath hit my ear as he kissed it over and over, then gradually moved down to my cheek. I'm so happy. Xiao Che, you like me. I'm truly so happy. I pushed him away with my elbow. Fine. Then tell me, what the hell did you mean by, I can't do it? He backed off a bit. Xiao Che, could it be that Brother Bing is me? I truly felt like I was going to get high blood pressure at such a young age. Who else? Song Yu laughed again, his eyebrows arching, leaning in to kiss me. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I wanted to keep scolding him, but it was all swallowed by him. The air was getting thin, and I had to open my mouth to breathe, only to be seamlessly entangled by him. My weakened body was steadily supported by him. I heard his heavy breathing and my own pathetic whimpering. After who knows how long, he finally pulled back slightly to let me take a big breath. Regaining my senses, I looked over and saw that I had been pushed against the desk and was sitting on it. His breathing was also a bit messy, hitting my neck, those moist lips pressed against it, once again demonstrating how the red mark one saw this morning was made. I gasped at his teasing and slapped his back. Get off. Song Yu finally let go but still wouldn't let me go. Xiao Che. I'm truly so happy. My anger started to settle down. Fine. Speak clearly. What did you mean by, I can't do it? Song Yu backed off, and I jumped off the desk, my legs feeling a bit weak as Song Yu supported me. Am I really this weak? Song Yu sat me down on a stool and sat in front of me. Xiao Che. I like you, even though I already knew the answer. Being stared at so intently by him and hearing his serious tone made me blush uncontrollably. I looked down at my toes. He didn't make me look up, only gently holding my hand. I've liked you for a long time. Xiao Che, I don't even know when it started. You know, last time when I heard you say you liked Brother Bing, I truly. Song Yu paused, his gaze hurt. I asked you over and over who Brother Bing was. But after you were drunk, you were just busy blocking my mouth and wouldn't answer. I had no memory of this. Blocking your mouth? You're saying the last time I drank and hit you was that? Song Yu's tone was casual. Yes, the time you hit me with your mouth. I was truly shocked. Huh? Song Yu smiled and leaned in. You hit me like this. Then followed another 10 minutes of demonstration. Finally, panting, I heard him continue. I thought you liked someone else at the time. I knew I shouldn't take advantage of the situation. But I'm sorry. He toyed with my fingers. I even thought, what if you were just joking while drunk? Maybe you didn't really have someone you liked. But after you sobered up, you actually admitted it. Your expression when talking about Brother Bing made me sad. Made me jealous. I had no right to stop you. But I couldn't do it either. I couldn't just stand by and watch you walk toward someone else. That's why I used the internship as an excuse to move out. If I couldn't see you every day, if we weren't so close, maybe it wouldn't hurt as much. But I didn't mean to make you sad. I'm sorry. Just now I didn't know Brother Bing was me, I thought. Song Yu brushed his lips against the back of my hand, letting out a low laugh. I thought you wanted to have 2 boyfriends at once. I was originally touched, but hearing that, I yanked my hand back. Didn't I say yesterday that Brother Bing was you? Song Yu recalled for a few seconds, looking a bit aggrieved. You really didn't. It was my turn to think carefully. I didn't. Why'd I have the feeling I said it several times? I truly couldn't trust my own memory. I guiltily kissed the corner of his lip. Sorry. Did that punch earlier hurt? It even broke the skin. Song Yu's eyes crinkled with the kiss. It doesn't hurt. This was bitten by you. You silly. My face turned red, and Song Yu chuckled as he nuzzled into my neck. I pushed his head away. I was just about to say, "What is wrong with you? Why bite my neck? There's training today. People will see." He stroked the red mark on my neck, saying something ungentlemanly with a serious face. "Today is our first anniversary. We're not going to training." With that, his hand wrapped around my waist again. How had I not realized all this time that Song Yu was actually such a rogue? I mumbled a complaint in my heart, but my head was very compliant, tilting up to kiss him. "Song Yu, I like you. The only one I like is you." In Song Yu's close-up gaze, there was nothing but clear laughter. I hurriedly closed my eyes, and the next second he pressed down. Quan Xiao Che. Bang, bang, bang. The door was pounded loudly. Both Song Yu and I jumped. "Che, wake up. Che, you can't be late for training today." Song Yu and I looked at each other. Outside the door, the captain was still deep in his act. "Che, open up. I know you're in there. If you have the guts to be late for training, have the guts to open the door." I grit my teeth and let go. "I'm going to go kick him." Song Yu chuckled and pulled me back into his embrace. "Ignore him." The story has ended. What do you think of the netizens' plan of just one kiss? Follow *Pride in Fiction* so you don't miss the next exciting stories. Have a great day.